What's up, Street U Live? Welcome to Street Talk. Today I'm here with Samson Smith, a member of Justice Crew and the owner of Base 18 Studios, man. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, my man. I'm good. Good to catch up with you.
Yeah, man, for sure. How's lockdown treating you, man? You still able to work throughout?
Um, I think yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's just for us, it's like, trying to keep the kids motivated. I know, man, I don't know how I'll feel in their shoes if they can't go to school, they can't hang out with their friends. So yeah, I'm just doing what I would like get together online, see all our class friends, and yeah, so we're just starting up doing a little bit of workshops here and there, just so the kids can interact with each other.
Yeah, 100%, man. They need that interaction in this time. You're so isolated and away from everything. You can't do anything.
I
Um,
know, I know.
yeah, I just wanted to start off, man. So, how did you get into breaking? Like, what was your first steps and crew and stuff like that?
Ooh, I started breaking, what, 99?
Yeah,
Yeah, 99. My older brother he was like the first one because he come back from high school one day after school and he was like, whoa, I think he called it a dance. He was just like, oh, these kids are dancing at school and they're like doing like stuff on their backs. And I was like, what the heck? And then apparently my older brother used to do it in the 80s.
true, true.
So yeah, so he came over, we told him, he came over and then he busted out some windmills. And when we first saw my older brother do windmills, that's when we were like, whoa,
Yeah,
let's
man.
get into this.
For those that don't know, his older brother is the legendary Samson Smith. Were you guys in Blackout Crew?
Yeah, so we were called Quick and Easy,
Quick and
but
Easy.
then yeah, when we got into it was called Black Attack when we got to represent New Zealand. Black
Uh,
Attack.
True,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, so yeah, Quick and Easy was a legendary New Zealand crew. Both of you guys were legendary really early on, man. You guys were killing it. Like, had the craziest power out in New Zealand. Tell us some of the stories of Quick and Easy and that, because I know you've represented Australia, New Zealand. There was a New Zealand Australian battle early on. When was that?
Yeah, there was it was like Quick and Easy was because I was the youngest in the crew. I was probably maybe about 12 when I first started, and the rest of them they would have been about 18.
Mm.
So I was able to travel with them to say from Auckland to Wellington. We used to travel there all the time, like on the car. It was like 7-8 hour drive, and they always used to have comps there. Like, and I know these days, like it's hard to like take young kids around, to jams. Like all the parents have to go, but fortunate for me was that I had my older brother and I had all his friends to look after me. So I got to see the world. I went to Germany when I was 14 to
For, for,
represent New
for
Zealand.
Battle of the Year.
Battle of the Year, yeah.
What an experience, man. That would have been like, that's a life achievement right there.
Yeah, it was an eye opener just to see like other kids, other kids that were like next level, like even younger. I think they would have been about 11 or 12, and you're just some crazy kids. And I look back at it now. It's like I've just seen like I feel like that helped me a lot to just stay within breaking. Was just to see the world first
Yeah.
at like 14 years old.
Yeah, well, that's a huge difference from back then to this generation. Like, I remember exactly the same thing, like 99 being like 12 and catching the trains to all the battles and buses and everything. And we're traveling 2-3 hours. We went down to Melbourne, I think, for like Oz B-Boy or something. We were like 13, 14. There was like 20, 13-year-olds on a train, no adults. And we're like headed down to Melbourne. But yeah, like in this generation, it is a different generation. Like coming up in the
Yeah,
studio, they got mentors, they got their parents supporting them, and it's really nice to see that change and
yeah,
that
yeah.
support network they're having.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
true. It's true.
so from Quick and Easy, when did you sort of like when did you start taking it seriously? You know what I mean? Like, was there a moment of like, because I remember for me it was like I was maybe 15 and I started getting shows and stuff like that. and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, damn, I can do something with this. And I started taking it a bit more seriously, and it stopped being just something we did at school to then let's put in the work. What was there a moment for you where it was like, all right, let's start taking this seriously and becoming a career?
Yeah. It was funny because in year 10, year 10, I had so many missed days of school. Reason why was because the crew, Quick and Easy, was getting a lot of gigs like all over New Zealand. So we were traveling a lot, but my parents allowed it. Like, it was like, if you want to do this, let's do it. And then I think when I got to year 11, the start of year 11 at school, I was just like, I really want to just dance. I just want to like perform and stuff like that. But then my dad was just like, oh, as long as you work, find some work, look after yourself, pay some rent, because we were using his garage to practice. But yeah, that's all. Since then, I was just like, okay, I'll just go to work in the mornings, and then I'll just train like in the afternoon.
And it's hard, man. It's like when you're at school, they don't teach you that sort of stuff. Like, they teach you how to get into a trade and how to, do a regular job, but they don't teach you sort of how to be a creative business owner, or what I mean? And I hope a lot of what we do at Street Uni prepares some of these younger artists to get into the world,
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, man. So when did you come over to Australia? And because did you come over with Psalms?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 2007. 2007.
I think I remember seeing your guys' first show. Was that I don't know if it was your first show, but at Blacktown, it was a little comp.
Yeah, it might have been, because it was funny because when I never ever did hip hop dancing, like choreography, until one of the members from Psalms, he came over to New Zealand and gathered like I was from Auckland, I had Solo from Wellington, Lee Rock was already over here, he's from Christchurch. So he knew all of us throughout New Zealand, and he was just like, let's come to Australia, we'll do some competitions and all this. I was like, man, I've never done choreography.
Bro, I learned my first bit of choreography on So You Think You Can Dance. I'd never done choreo before, and I got the cameras on me. Me and Carly, we're learning choreo for the first time, and we're like a deer in headlights going. It was hilarious, man. So you learned the choreo, you came over to Australia, and you were like, you just killed it. I remember the first time I seen you was going, what the hell? Especially Lee Rock. Lee Rock. Yeah. He's always just been from another planet, man, just built for it, you know what I mean?
He is crazy.
And that was Psalms was a stacked crew. Like, even now, you look back at who was in that crew and how sort of successful each individual sort of was within hip hop. Who were some of the people in there? So it was you, Solo, Lee Rock.
We had E-Man. E-Man was in it.
Yeah.
Gosh come over. Gosh was in it.
Yeah.
Gosh was in it. Scrappy.
Yeah.
He was a crumper. There was a few, man. It was funny because we came over and then we got to meet the like some of the Aussies that were in it. So it was kind of like we brought everyone together, and it was crazy times. When I think about it now, it was insane. Like, we had a house in Richmond, and it was like I'm blessed that like where I'm at now. But when I look back at it, we just laugh like, whoa, that was crazy. Like, you could see the grass under the floors. You can see the iron sheets in the roofs. Like,
started from the bottom, now we're here.
It was just given to us just so we can we can train. You know, we trained together, and we did that all day, just train all day together. And the only way we made money from like when we're in Sounds to like eat and just to support each other was we went to the city to busk.
I remember coming out busking with you one day early on. When was that? It was when the Pope came. Remember that?
Yeah, man.
The Pope came down. It was like shoulder to shoulder, and we did a show for the Pope, and then we were like, "Yo, let's go out. Good times.
Good times,
Good times, man.
They were the hustle times. The hustle times.
Um, so where did you go from there? So what happened after Psalms? Like, I remember we were doing shows with Next Step as well.
Yeah. I think during Psalms, like on the end of Psalms was I started getting like an agency, 7 Flavors, Richie represent.
I think every b-boy in Australia has come through 7 Flavors at some point or another.
Yeah, so I think it was in the Psalms was having an agent and then just doing gigs like with yourself, Next Step, and all over the place. And I felt like that was kind of like I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Australian scene.
Like
getting paid to dance.
Yeah, it was good times, man. I remember the Next Step, the first time we did a show together, like because in Next Step we dressed up in suits, right? We were breaking in suits and vests and stuff. And for anyone that's tried to break in a suit, it's not easy, especially when you're big as myself and Samson. It's not easy to break in a suit. But I remember seeing you break in the suit for the first time, and for me, I needed to wear like triple XL, so it was baggy enough. And you were the definition. I've always said this. You were the definition of a professional b-boy. You looked good in the suit, and you made all your moves look sharp and clean in the suit. Like, you were your moves were just built for it. So I remember, we came through Next Step, and then so let's talk through Justice Crew, man. What like how'd that form? Like you were Cypher Nasty for a while before Justice Crew, right? Like, so you battled with Cypher Nasty.
So it was kind of like how we had the end of Psalms, and then I got into all the agency work. It kind of came back. So a guy called Morris, he was the one that grabbed everyone from New Zealand and brought them to Australia. He come back and he was like, all right, guys, Australian, I think it was hip hop champs. Australian hip hop champs coming up. Let's put a crew together and let's see how far we can go with it. And he ended up getting like Lucas from Melbourne. We had Solo, who had a student, which is Paulie. And he was just a student. He was like, man, you got to get this little kid and he can do all the flips. I was like, oh yeah, get him in. And then we got these 2 twins, Filipino Aussies. We got those guys in, and we had Taz and Cole.
Yeah. Well, well, I was actually a part of that sort of creation process myself. So I was working with Morris at Streetworks. We were doing a charity thing. I was working with Solomon at the time. And yeah. So I remember him. We were talking. I was in the beginning stages of that, and I was like, I sort of gave him the contact. I was like, all right, got to get Wild Rock, Taz, Cole, and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember early on the early stages, and then you went to Vegas, right?
Yeah. Went to Vegas. Yeah.
Did you win that, or how did you?
No. The Vegas one was so you're competing against like for hip hop choreography the best in, I think there was like 15 countries, and we placed 13th, so we just missed out in the finals.
That's pretty good, man, for that amount of talent that was over there.
They take the top 12, so we missed out one spot to go.
Did someone battle over there as well? Did you battle someone, or?
We did, yeah. Well, when we were over there, SKB were there as well. So it was funny. Like we combined together, and Common Ground came over. Lee Rock and Grub were there.
Yeah.
And we all got together, Aussies and New Zealanders. We got to battle Mexico in the ciphers. That was crazy. Because it was like they couldn't speak English, but we can like translate through moves and who was better. And it was like, man, it went on for like 2-3 hours.
That's old school vibes, man. But
it was cool. Like there was like no one was talking. It was just like straight in. Let's do this. When stacks were okay, you can stack everything.
It was about the hardest move, trying the hardest move. It wasn't about how clean you did it. It was the skill level. Man, I would have loved it if you were actually talking smack, because there's nothing better than two people that don't understand each other just talking smack.
Yeah, like Luke was going in crazy Skywalker. It was funny. It's funny.
Yeah, man. So you get back from Vegas. I know you were doing street performing for a while in Pitt Street.
Yeah.
From that, and then you had your big break on AGT, man. You guys went on and destroyed it. Tell us about that experience, man, because you guys like went to Superstars.
Yeah, Australia's Got Talent. One of the boys' parents was just like, "Hey, you guys should audition for Australia's Got Talent." We were like, typical hip hop, man. We're like, "Oh, nah." But then it was funny because it was just like, well, we just come back from Vegas. We've got a routine already, and we can just try that for the audition. And then, when we did the audition, that was when we were like, oh, like Brian McFadden and Carl Sandilands, they're all coming out. Oh, you guys could make it to the finals. And we were like, what? No way. And then, our main one was just, this is a great platform to like get our name out there. And we were still busking at the time, like just to get our name out there and to keep, that was to like get us some food,
Yeah, man. I was doing the same thing at that time, man. I did 10 years of street performing, man. It was a good way to make a living. You're your own boss. You're getting paid to do what you love doing, man. It was beautiful.
It was fun.
Yeah. Oh, good. And so you won AGT. What was the transition? Because you guys were all b-boys and all dancers. You've got your contract for Sony. Talk us through that transition. Like, was it like we used like straight away like, yeah, let's sing, or was it like?
No, it was like through the show you get a contract, and if you win, you get like a DVD done out. And when we won, they did the whole DVD documentary about Justice Crew, and then I think like maybe 2 weeks later after that, the following was growing. Our following through Australia was growing.
Yeah, you guys blew up.
Yeah, and then that's when I feel like Sony Music approached us, and they asked us. We had a meeting with one of the managers, and he said, if you guys want to go worldwide, you guys should do music. And we were like, oh, no. A few of the guys sing, they play around here and there, but there was 9 of us.
Yeah, it was a big crew. Yeah,
that was a risk. Like they were just like, we've never done it before with just the dance crew, like to just put it out there. And then we were just like, they gave us a single, and then that single went gold like in the week or something.
Yeah. Well, like that was the craziest thing for me was I couldn't believe you guys had the #1 selling single in Australian history. Was it Que Sera?
Que Sera, yeah.
That is such a crazy accomplishment, man. I was like, right there, the #1 selling single in Australian history, bro. That's such a big achievement, man. Like,
crazy.
Do you guys still hold that, or is someone taking that? Do you know?
Someone did knock it off. The brothers. What are their names? Yeah, these 2 guys. They're on The Voice.
Okay.
One of the brothers was on The Voice, and Good Charlotte. Charlotte.
Okay, that's a decent name to knock it off. But damn, man, like, just to have that for a moment in time, you know what I mean? You like that's crazy, man. How do you feel when that happened?
What's that?
How do you feel when that happened?
I think like when we first went #1, that was like a mind blown. Like we were like for how Que Sera, we were told we're at some photo shoot, and then our manager runs in and was like, Que Sera's #1, and we were like, what the heck? No way. And then it stayed there for a while. So yeah, that song blew us. Like we got all the like NRL shows, and like it just put us on another platforms.
Yeah. And how was performing? Like because you were performing, like you touring left, right, and center and all that sort of stuff. Like how was that time and experience? Like, was it
I think
stressful? Was it enjoyable?
for us, because we came from like no one like from a management, perspective, they didn't bring us together. It was kind of like we were together for about, I don't know, 3-4 years before we did the whole AGTs kind of thing. So it was, and then from there it was just like everyone wanted a piece. Everyone, like, can you guys perform here? Like at first, that's what we were all about. Like all about was like, come in, we'll do community stuff here and there. And then it got to the business side of it. And that's the part we didn't like, because that made us like, oh, look at these guys. They're too cool now. But when we hang out with people, it's like, yeah, it's just like, it's funny because the business side of it, like if you want to get paid, you want to stay a certain way. And then if you don't, and that was all of us. We come from humble backgrounds, each and one of us, come from struggling and like trying to make it. And then when you got some business person involved, yeah, it takes.
It's extremely hard, man, especially because the reasons we get into b-boying and why we want to perform and make a living off what we do and stuff like that, it all comes from a very pure place. And then when the business gets in, it always corrupts, and there's always like, you got to protect yourself. And as I said, there's no one teaching us that sort of stuff, and everyone wants their sort of got hands in pockets, and there's percentages, and it's all confusing. You're like, I just want to perform, man. Like, someone take care of that for me.
It's true.
Yeah, man. And so, are you guys still perform? Like, obviously not during COVID and stuff like that, but do you have like, is Justice still kicking on? They still got shows planned and everything?
Well, we did. When was it? Last year. Last year, everything got postponed. This year, 2021. So when the first COVID lockdown happened, that was when all of our stuff got cancelled, like postponed, and they're just waiting, like. And then it was supposed to be this year, and then everything got cancelled. We've had a few gigs that we could do, but we're still gigging. We still catch up here and there. But it's good to see like each member's doing something different as well. Like everyone's following their path and what they want to do. Yeah. But when it comes to Justice, it's kind of like a natural thing. Like, okay, we already know what to do. Let's get together. Let's do it. And gigs are fun. We just
it's the best, isn't it? Like there's nothing that gives you that energy like just being on the stage, performing and doing what you do, and especially when you're with the crew, you're just vibing off each other, just enjoying it, man. It's good. Are you guys still making new music and stuff like that?
At the moment, we're not. At the moment, I feel like a lot of the boys are doing their own kind of music. I know Len's got like one of the brothers. He's got like his own group going. So it's him and this other guy. And then Solo's also doing like producing music all over.
Solo's killing it. He's
killing it.
He's that guy, bro. You know what I mean? He's that dude right now. I see him. He's everywhere. Yeah,
man. So it's just busy. Everyone's busy. Everyone's doing their own thing, and I think once everything settles down, that's when we're like, okay, let's plan doing something here and stuff like that.
So with yourself, like everyone's doing their own side projects. I know you're you're the owner of Base 181 Studios. You're a teacher now. And for me, as I said, I've said this a few times. There's a few of the b-boys in Australia that are teaching right. You know what I mean? In Sydney, especially, like I know yourself, like Joe Bananas. I know Don, Hitaboo. There's a few of yous that are formulating the new generation and really bringing them up the right way. Barry as well. So. How talk us through like opening up the studio and how it's been for you transitioning to that and teaching. How's everything going with the studio?
I think it's when we first started, would have been about maybe 4 years ago, we started Base. And at first, like I started off with just doing workshops, and I had about like holiday workshops for schools. You know, we did the whole letterbox thing.
Yeah.
Went around letterbox and told all the schools that I
Hustle,
was out.
hustle.
Yeah, I was out in the area, and you know, I had like throughout the 2 weeks of a school holiday, I had probably about maybe 20 kids come through, and we just had games and all this. But then I only had 3 kids that signed up and wanted to learn more breaking. And like I think about that then when we first started, 3 kids. Now we have like over like 200 kids coming every week. So it's like just to see where we started to now, it's like it's crazy. And yeah, I think with the whole justice and the business side of it, taking on the studios, like that's like trying to teach me more about the business side of it. So, but I'm enjoying teaching, man. It's
Man, as I
I
said,
think
you got,
it's like, you know, you see the scene and it's like, oh, you want kids to be able to, because they're the ones that's going to take over the scene. Joe's kids, Barry's kids, Don's kids, they're going to take over the scene, and all we have to do is just give them the way and then see
yeah,
where it goes.
exactly. And one thing I'm loving seeing about, as I said, like all the guys you just mentioned, like you guys are formulating your own little crews within the studio. You guys are rocking up to events with the crew. You're battling with the crew, and and it gives them that confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, I'm that dude that I'll rock up to the events and I'm like, what little kid's not battling? I'm gonna jump in with him. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm gonna back up whoever needs it on the day. I just sort of enter, and I don't care about winning or losing anymore. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
I enjoy the conversation. I enjoy having fun. Like one of my missions I'm on now is I want to enter with anyone that hasn't been in a battle for the last like 5-10 years. I want to enter with that dude. You know, I want to bring him out of retirement. Like, let's go.
yeah, that's man.
But yeah, I'm seeing you guys' crews coming up, man, and their confidence level is really stepping up. And yeah, you can really see you teach them how to battle properly, because it's a tricky thing to do within the studio environment as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know you guys are teaching the right way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly what you said. That those guys are going to be the ones taking over the scene.
Yeah. So it's just all it is just like people that's been through it and like experienced. You know, I know all the guys that were mentioned at least over 15 years, 20 years experience. You know, so like they're in good hands with the kids, and it's good to just. Like I even tell the kids, yo, just go to, if there's any workshops, go learn from that person, go learn from that person. Because you got to like learn from, different, and they got to find themselves too. And then otherwise they all start breaking like the teacher.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I see a lot of the young students come through street uni, man. They come to the ciphers, and I know like the first time they're sort of a bit hesitant to jump in. And then they get comfortable in the space, and like that's the sort of big learning curve when you go from being in that studio environment to jumping in the training ciphers with the different crews and stuff like that. And I really enjoy it. I love that within the b-boy community, like all the teachers are about that. They're like, go into the ciphers, find yourself, you know what I mean? Still come back and learn, but yeah, that's where you're going to find your own, because exactly that, you don't want every single dancer breaking like the teacher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, just to finish up, bro, do you have any advice to give to the young generation, or any words of wisdom that if they're just starting breaking, or do you have any sort of advice for them getting into the industry and stuff?
Yeah, I think a big one. I can just talk for myself. My journey is just to stay consistent and don't worry about the naysayers. Like, I know a lot of people do it, and I've had it through my journey. Like, oh, that's not going to work, or no one's going to like you for that, or like the certain way I'll break. Oh, you got to do this style. I'm like, yeah, but this is where I want to go. As long as you stay consistent in what you do, and anything though, that's like breaking, choreography, music, If you stay consistent and just put the work in, you're going to reap those benefits like down the track. And I know it's hard because you can't see the 10, 15, 20 years later or something, but it's like, it's going to happen. And yeah, just never give up on that. Never give up.
100% have faith, man. And last thing, man, where, if anyone wants to, you know, learn from Bass Studio, where can we find you? What's your, like, what's your handle on Instagram or
Yes, so check us out. We are base181studios.com on our website, and Instagram is base181studios. But yeah, I'm constantly teaching. We're based in Rouse Hill. So we're based in Rouse Hill. Used to be in Castle Hill, but we needed to find a bigger place.
I remember rocking out at Castle Hill, man. I love that space.
I love it. I miss that. I miss the floor. I miss the floor on that spot.
Yeah, I used to be able to go crazy. But yo, thanks so much for chatting with us. Hope you enjoyed the chat. Peace out, Street Unit.